fuck! I should have been recording that. Don't be picking something Mickey Mouse watches.
One of those Fitbit watches.
Listen.
Rolex tabs on the blackjack.
But one of the best I've ever heard. So the CEO, it was what's that? Mike. Oh
my God.
I forget the guy
That
CEO
was
of
hilarious.
Disney. So the guy from Disney, he goes on and he's saying something about the company, about Disney, about keeping it going and this and that. And he goes, and that's no Mickey Mouse watch. And I go like, oh, that is fucking awesome because you know what I'm saying? Like the dude is the CEO of fucking Disney.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And he goes, and it's no Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And he's got his watch right there, the Mickey Mouse watch. Like, oh, that's some shit right there.
That's gangster.
That is
Do
gangster.
Hey everybody, welcome to Body Steve Frank Beef with your boy Big Daddy Dominic Alvarez. Woo! And of course, joining me across the table, Mike with an happy word. Woo! Marrera. Mike, what's going down, son?
Going down.
Of course, joining me, my very special guest today. He's been a coach for 30 years, been my father for at least 32.
if not longer.
Big Jim, a.k.a. Coach Alvarez, my daddy. Coach
Coach.
Alvarez,
Hey.
welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. And I
Oh,
just want
man.
to say, woo!
We are having a blast. So, we did a show. He comes back, and, I set up the computer in the room, and I was just explaining to my dad the greatest moments of my life. It wasn't childbirth or the birth of my children. It wasn't that. It wasn't me getting married. It was when Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 3, the Pontiac Silverdome, when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant and slammed him down and gave him the big leg drop for the 1, 2, 3. That was the greatest moment of my life. And so
Amen.
we just got onto this whole crazy tangent of 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling, and what just makes us just
You know
super
what was
happy,
so
you know?
cool? And we were talking about this, and I told Mike, and I was like, Mike, you don't understand. Like today, everybody gets this pay-per-view, and they spend like hundreds of dollars for these
$60
things.
Easily.
Like,
Back
Easily.
then,
Oh my
it was WrestleMania, and it was probably $29.95, and everybody was like, fuck, that's a lot of money over there to spend for one fucking WrestleMania. But they didn't understand how big an event it was. And I think about it, and there must have been about 30 guys over this one guy, my buddy's house, and we're all sitting there just waiting for the main event.
charging
So was
people-
I there
charging
for that?
people in
Was
the-
I
No,
there?
I got to
Door.
tell you, you were infant, son,
Okay.
at that time. You
But
were
I
infant.
do remember. This is like one of probably the most earliest impressions of my life, which actually kind of played a role way later on into my jiu-jitsu career as I'm 33 years old now. So, so what happened? You're at your buddy's house, and all of this is going down, right?
And this is
how
going
big?
down.
Well, first off, how big was Hulk Hogan as an icon, and how big was WrestleMania 3 at the time?
Hulk Hogan was the man. He was the man. But I will say this, Andre the Giant was a guy that was never, ever, and I mean ever, going to be slammed. That was never going to happen, and it wasn't going to happen in my lifetime.
Well,
and
they
I
say
thought,
for 15 years he was undefeated.
he was undefeated. And that's to tell you how big WrestleMania was. Now, there were some epic battles. I mean, there were like, you're talking about Junkyard Dog, Jake the Snake, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh my God, those are
You-
heavy hitters, man.
Coco Beware. I mean, no people did not know, but these guys. Oh,
No,
and of
that
course,
was our era.
you
Yeah,
cannot
shit,
forget
Mike.
Rowdy Piper. God rest his soul.
Oh,
and,
God.
and Randy,
Sepho Lord.
the Macho Man Savage.
He was the man.
George the Animal Steel. All these guys, King Kong Bundy, they were the greatest. But that one epic battle, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, everybody anticipated that thing. And was it going to happen? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you this. I was not going to miss it.
You guys, dude, what a cultural phenomenon in the 80s, right? That happened
Absolutely.
in 86, 7? I don't even know.
God, I lost track. I couldn't even tell you right now.
But yeah, though, WrestleMania 3, man. And again, this is one of the first memories I have and I kept to this day. It means so much to me. I showed my kids in there as the match's entirety. And my oldest child goes, Hulk Hogan can't win. And I said, why? Andre the Giant is too big. And I go, okay, honey. So let's just watch it. So Mike looked it up. WrestleMania 3, the main event, 1987, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for the WWF Heavyweight Championship belt.
World Wrestling Federation.
Oh, man, when it was WWF.
So that put you at about 4 years old, maybe?
I was, if that, March. So I wasn't even 4. I was 3 and
There
some
you go.
change.
There you
so,
go.
yeah, the Pontiac Silverdome. So, but I remember watching this at our house.
And you know what was significant about the Pontiac Silverdome? That was a place where 80,000 people, that was the maximum, but I'm almost sure there was more than that.
91,000. 90? Look at that.
There you go.
93,000 people were there.
Largest recorded
Indoor
attendance
event in North America. So, dude, yeah.
That's how crazy it was. And I remember there must have been, everybody was there at that place. You name it, everybody, the homies, everybody was in there. And it's like we're all stuck to a TV. And the event was happening. And I could not believe that on this night, there's no way in the world nobody has ever picked up Andre the Giant.
Yeah, and it's funny that, that now it's what the professional wrestlers call kayfabe. Basically, what happens behind the scenes stays behind the scenes. So if you actually YouTube it now, if you look at, you just Google Hulk versus Andre the Giant, they actually fought or wrestled in Japan. And Hulk Hogan, one of the first moves that they did was Hulk picked him up and just slammed him with the greatest of ease. And this was when Andre the Giant had an afro. So he picked him up, boom. And that was
what's funny about that, but we know that now. But
Yeah.
I think at the time nobody knew that.
that
Yeah,
was-
there's no way anybody.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
It was WCW and WWF. WCW was very popular on the East Coast, or more specifically in the South of the Louisiana, Atlanta, and Kentucky, Tennessee, all those places. Super popular. But what Vince McMahon did was he wanted to go global. So he started with North America and he went everywhere. So we only knew about Hulk, Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper, all that on the West Coast and beyond. And of course, with cable television being the way it was, being very new and very like, oh my God, we can watch boobs on Channel 5. This
No
is
way.
great. Or you can push the 9 button. You just keep pushing the 9 button.
It's like a tit there.
But yeah, no, man. Back in the 80s, though, Dad, like, there was a lot of technology coming out that you just thought was space age, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
futuristic.
What was
like-
one of the things that like blew your mind at the time, besides TV?
I would say VCRs.
VCR.
VCR. I mean, think about it. VCR. I want you to think about this for a
Those are
second.
pagers, right? Like
we
you
used
could
to.
call
Yeah,
someone?
no, son.
Sorry, what's a VCR, Dad?
VCR. Now that was a video recording. Okay, so like you would watch TV, and as far as you knew, TV once it was gone, it was gone.
It was done.
But VCR actually recorded TV programs or movies, and you could actually pause or rewind, and it was like a
Watch it
cassette
again.
player.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
a
it was
cassette?
video-
you know what a
video-
cassette is, son?
Hey,
It was.
you seen that-
Do I have to
Well,
explain what a
excuse
cassette
me.
is?
Have you seen that
VCR
video?
means video cassette recorder. Thank you, you asshole. I do read.
But do you see that video where the kids are putting like the cassette in a Walkman?
Or trying to in the
they're trying
Walkman.
and they're like, how do you what is this? This is like a TV remote. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
And
so
they're
what
trying
they
to put
do
the
on
tape-
YouTube now is they have kids like Anhea's age, and they'll introduce the first Game Boy, the Game Boy you bought me, and they're like, what the hell is this? So they go about, and one kid out of all of them goes, hey, this is the grandfather to the iPod. You don't understand what this did for generations to become. One kid Anhea's age knew, but out of like 10 of them, they were like, yeah, I have
Yeah,
no
how
idea what
crazy
this
is that?
I have no idea what this is.
And that's what that was. Now the VCR blew me away, but then when you get now in your generation, the CD,
Oh yeah.
the CD was like that. That really
The
kind
CD
of
amazed me. I
that
was
that
like,
messed me
what?
up because I
know
couldn't
what?
understand how things were recorded on a
Right.
disc.
No, I'm with you. I'm
Like-
sitting in that same boat. Even though it was my generation, I go, okay, so you burn a CD? Like, can it take that heat?
Yeah, that's
What do
I
you
was
do?
thinking. When it
Like,
said
what do you
burn,
do
I
to
was
like burn
wait,
it?
Like fire? Like,
Yeah, and I
what the
thought
hell?
fire, and I go, well, that's a very interesting way of doing it. I got lighters, I just can't afford a CD. So like, how do I make
I'm
this
gonna be
at home?
honest. I still don't know how DVR works. I just know how to
DVR?
use it.
Well, then you know, Dad, you're in the. Sometimes you just don't need to ask
Yeah,
why.
you're right. I don't need to know how it works. I just know how to use it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no. So yeah, I know, but the like the Hulk Hogan thing, the Andre, like all this mysterious stuff that was in the '80s starts to come to kind of light in the '90s, and I still never got those moon shoes you guys promised me. So he doesn't even know. So
The Back to the Future shoes and the hoverboard. What's up with that?
yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
man.
wait long enough, it'll come back. Yeah.
Nah,
we were
man.
just discussing cycles of trends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
listen,
that's-
every 20 years, everything comes back.
It
It
will.
doesn't matter,
and
yeah.
it has
Dude,
to.
the
You
Back
got-
to the Future, like the gear, people are wearing it now.
Well, you know what the funny thing about that-
Actually, it's old now. It's just
it's
like
old,
it's already
but-
old or
but,
already
dude,
to come back.
yeah,
But
they're
dude,
like,
if you
ooh.
watch the movie, it predicted a lot of
Yeah,
things that happened
yeah.
to it. Like Disney bought Star Wars. That was in Back to the Future. I think the very last one. Yeah, the very last one, or maybe the second one.
Well, you
It
could say
predicted
you
that.
could say hoverboards.
But it
Because you
predicted
really
hoverboards.
you could say that nowadays they have those hoverboards now.
It predicted a lot of things that are happening nowadays, and even Star Trek. Star Trek had the first iPads. They had the first Google Eyes on there. They had a ton of stuff.
Well, they could
on that
be.
TV show.
You just showed me your virtual reality
Yeah.
goggles.
So yeah, we're gonna try that out. We're gonna
By
try
the
that
way,
out.
Mike, those things are fucking awesome,
Dude, he was telling me, I was like, man,
Oh, they are
awesome could those
unreal.
be? But then
Listen,
he
I'm not
texted
gonna
me-
lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. So he puts on the Jurassic Park one. The dinosaur, he's sitting there, the Vegisaurus. He's sitting there and he's just kind of sleeping. He gets up and he kind of comes towards you and he comes all the way right to your face and he's sniffing around like, what the fuck is that?
And Mike, he's as
Mike, I'm
close-
not bullshitting you. That thing is bigger than life. And you can look 360 all around.
And
there-
that dude ain't moving. He's in your face, dude.
And so,
Serious?
so
I'm
listen.
excited.
He's
I'm
he's
excited.
in your
He's
face like
sta-
your
I'm mad
deodorant
that
is.
iPhone don't got
When
that.
he
He's so much
stands
in your
up-
face like your cologne. That's how much in his face he is.
Would you say that's
Hey,
how much he's in
you
your
gave
face?
it to me, so whatever.
So he
Or
stands
his
up,
hair did.
and I swear to you, Mike, I went like this.
Are you serious?
Now let me explain to the audience. I fucking like flinched.
jumped back.
I
He
flinched,
jumped
yeah,
back.
because it's that real. Those
Really?
The
virtual
Oculus
reality,
Rift,
I
reality
so,
goggles.
So I bought a new phone. You guys heard it
I totally
on,
forgot
or
about
maybe,
that.
or maybe you didn't hear on the
Oh, that's
last
fucking
episode
awesome.
because someone, anywho, so not even going there. We're gonna keep our marital,
That's ammo for
our
that.
marital problems
Daddy.
behind closed doors. So our last episode, I bought an S7, and we were like, I don't have to have the latest and greatest, but I try to choose like just a
does.
cheaper phone, and I got the latest and greatest. And I didn't know. So what that came with is a virtual reality machine powered by Oculus, the Oculus Rift, the newest. Or not the newest, but
new
the
shit.
coolest thing about virtual reality. And this has
Latest
been
and
a thing
greatest.
since the 80s. You
Absolutely.
put on this
Yeah.
thing,
Yes.
and you could put on a 4-dimensional video game. Yay! But that was sticks and stones compared to what we have now.
Like the,
Yeah, so I
glitches
put
and
on the
pixels
Jurassic
were-
Park, the Avengers Tower, like you're in the Avengers Tower as Tony Stark in the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And you have these crazy things. And what happened is it's so realistic. I was looking down on New York, at least 50 stories up, and
Yeah.
my hands started to sweat because I'm afraid of heights. So I almost shat myself trying to take off in the Oculus Rift. I asked for my wife, and then my 5-year-old punched me in the stomach. So it didn't. I almost doo-dooed myself. So I was like, Dad, you got to try this out. And then I showed him, and he was sitting down. And he's like, okay, I'm done. I
No,
got it, got it.
like the Avenger one, it really was cool. But I got to tell you, you're so into the Jurassic Park one that it's a fucking dinosaur
fucking
in your
like-
face. And
I'm
listen,
excited. I'm
you
like,
know what? If you could imagine
Thank you
when
for
you
joining
watch,
us.
yeah, when you watch Jurassic Park, and you know how those little kids felt inside the car.
Yeah.
I swear to you, you felt like you were in the little car.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, holy fuck. The only thing that was saving my ass was it was a veggie source. Okay?
Yeah, it was a brontosaurus.
Yeah, it wasn't the
and
T-Rex.
Dude, 'cause
It just
I
smelled
drive
you.
down the 163, and you know the 163 where it's like
It's beautiful, man. It's
Dude,
beautiful.
I'm like, it feels like a Jurassic Park style. I'm gonna wear those rules.
And
I'm gonna be like Dominic driving down the 163. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put that on, and I'm gonna just smack Mike every once in a while and kick him in his nuts.
No, it is
virtual
so cool.
reality.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It's that
crazy.
real.
Yeah, no,
That's
so
but
technology.
I told Dom though. I said, God, I want to be drunk and do this shit.
No, because Mike, you know how you look at something and it kind of just follows you. No, you can't escape.
No, you can't.
You will not
You look
escape it
around and
until
you're in the
you
jungle.
get off. Oh, take it
Are you
off.
serious?
You can't escape.
No.
So if you're
when he
hammered
said he
and
was-
doing that, oh my god.
when he said he was awesome, I was like, okay, he's over it.
No,
I'm
it's
telling
cool.
you
It's
right
cool.
now. No, man, no.
Yeah.
Technology from the 80s, they predicted a lot of what we could potentially do in the 90s, but the 90s were extremely disappointing because the greatest thing we've ever had in the 90s was the slap bracelet. And you know what? Someone cut that open just like a few months ago, and it's just a tape measure cut.
Pretty much, that's what it was.
No, Mike, that's what it was.
That's
You
what
could
it was.
see the numbers
Yeah.
on the thing. So I'm a child of the 90s, and I thought that was the greatest
Oh,
fucking
damn.
thing on earth. And all of a sudden, I can measure my little penis, my slap
5 inches.
bracelet. Yeah, you're being
Yeah,
generous,
yeah,
Dad. Jesus. Yeah. No, but technology, I love it, and I super appreciate it.
Well,
man,
I
you
think
know?
we all should embrace it. I mean, it is here, and you know
There's
what?
people
It's-
that are so against it.
No,
though,
no.
Man.
What I would say is that you
Amish,
have to
goddamn.
use it, but
Amish.
use it, but you have to be smart about how you use it. I mean, like some people, the only people that are against it are the people that either abuse it or are afraid of it.
I'm,
And it-
Yeah.
I'm more
Just
I'm
like
more on
cocaine, right?
Along the lines like yeah, how you said, use it for what it's for.
I caught that.
You know, but there's a lot of like people and our younger generations. They're focused on it, and it's funny because there was a little like video, and it's a bunch of pictures. It's like a slideshow of a bunch of people, like, and their iPads, their phones, or whatever. It was erased, and you look at the pictures, and it's like you got like a crowd of like a bunch of people in a room. And they're all looking at their phones, or they're all looking at the computer.
Listen, this is true. Ever go out on the street, like when you drive home? When you drive home, how many people do you drive past that either are on the phone?
I'm one of them. I'm
Or
one of those
talking
Yeah,
on
I
the
was gonna
phone?
say, I'm totally in
Listen,
there.
we all do it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all do it. But how scary is that?
It is.
It's fucking
is.
scary because every time when I look over in somebody's car, or it's green, asshole. What? How much? How green do you want it to be before you move? Listen, the real truth is because we're all sitting there looking at our phones.
Like, and it's funny because my coworker, we went out to the front of our building, and my boy's like, "Dude, what happened to your car?" He was looking at his phone.
Yeah,
he was
absolutely.
looking down. His front end is like total. I'm like, how are you even driving that shit? He was like, "Well, I'm taking it to the bumper doctor or something right now."
Juan.
Yeah,
No, it's actually
exactly.
a white dude.
Yeah,
It's actually a white dude.
Oh, how
But-
dare you? That's racist, Mike.
yeah, that is.
Caucasian.
Donald Trump lover.
Well, let me just say it'll be 3 times the amount it would be if you took it
Yeah,
to
he was like-
if
he
you
was
took
like
it to Uncle
easily.
Dominic.
He was like, "I'm just so
I'll
mad.
fix that
It's,
shit.
$200 or $2,000, wasted." And I was like, "Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck."
No, it's the truth. And if you look over, and every time when I'm driving, I'm like, God damn, that's a damn shame
probably seen
because
me and was like,
everybody's.
"Fucking Mike."
But listen, I'm just as guilty. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just as
Well,
guilty.
Albert Einstein said it. Technology will bring society to its knees, or something similar, because
yeah,
it's
it
like
does.
we're all looking down. We're all looking down at our phone, and we're walking like zombies. It's just what's the latest, what's the greatest.
Dude,
Okay,
how many
I-
times
I
have
will-
you
I
actually
will agree to
walked
that.
into public, looking at your phone, and like, I'm
no,
sorry.
I agree with it.
No, I always
To a
I'm
point.
one of those courteous
To a
guys that
point.
pull over. Like I quote
No.
unquote, I'll go to the side.
No, but that's
finish
just
what I'm
that's
doing.
just
I'm not
common
talking
sense.
about
That's
driving,
common
I'm
sense.
talking about
No,
walking with
walking.
your phone.
Walking.
I will go to a nook or a corner.
Mike,
finish
this
what
is
I do, and
one
then
thing
move on.
in your generation, and I will say this in your generation, none of you guys were going to get hit by a car for walking out in the middle of the street because you were looking down or had your earphones
Yeah.
in your ears.
Yeah.
That shit is a commonplace. At my school, no bullshit. People run into people. People walk out into the middle of the street.
Yep.
because they're not paying attention. Their fucking earphones
Yeah,
are in
dude.
their ears.
That's
And
unfortunate.
you know what?
too.
And that shit happens. It's commonplace now. Commonplace. Nobody used to get hit by a car. Dude, nobody got hit by a car.
Dad,
That
I
shit
got hit by a car,
Listen,
and that
that
was
shit
fine.
happens every day.
But that's because like a ball went out into the street. But
Yeah, hello.
well,
on a
That was just stupid.
and that was like it wasn't normal, but it was like it happened like
Right.
one in
No,
a
no, no. I
hundred.
was just joking. I'm never hitting a record. But yeah, no. I guess you would say, ignorance of technology's potential is.
Would you
starting
say abuse of it?
I wouldn't say abuse because it doesn't affect your family and it doesn't affect your work. Unless it affects, in
Well-
my opinion, unless it infects or affects those two things, it pulls you away from your wife, your husband, and your children and your work. Unless it really truly affects that, I don't feel that it's an addiction.
No. Well,
It is.
you know what?
It is.
Again, if it
I
doesn't
beg to
affect that.
differ, but I do feel it is an addiction, and I do feel that, yes, you can abuse it.
Oh,
Because the
absolutely,
reason
but-
why I say it's an addiction, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? Like, I have no doubt that you're going to go take a leak. I have no doubt
Yes.
that you're going to go get your coffee. But then the third thing you're going to do is go check your phone.
I resent
Well,
my
I
life.
mean,
Yeah.
Again, it's
I
not
mean-
like it's not like anybody grabs the newspaper.
Exactly.
saying?
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, that's a great point, Mike. That's a great point. Well, I mean, it's kind of not maybe with guys of Dad's generation. It is like for an hour they would have their coffee and read the paper.
Yes.
That was their social media. So is it so bad to check your phone after you brush
No,
your
no,
teeth?
no. I'm not saying
If you're
it's
checking-
bad.
If
I'm
you're
not-
checking Google News and Yahoo News or whatever, but no, you're
Well,
looking
hold
on
on,
Facebook.
hold on.
You're looking at Instagram.
That's news.
You're looking,
That is news.
Yeah, but
do you really
no, no,
think?
no.
Do you really think
I
that
don't
Bruce
deny it.
Jenner winning another fucking gold medal was on your to-do list as far as reading?
No. But
No?
here's what I would say about that, Dom. I'm not denying that I don't go get my information
But no,
from my phone. I'm not going to lie about that. I do get my information from my phone.
Well, yeah, who
and
doesn't
and
now?
who
Yeah.
doesn't? Yeah,
Yeah.
who doesn't? So
Definitely.
you open it up, and MSN is my homepage, and I look at it. Yeah, I'm that guy that stays up on current events. I need to know what's going on in the world, and so yes, is my phone part of that routine in the morning? Yeah, it is. It is.
And you know, it's not bad. And I'm not trying to shit on you, Mike, or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, people of Dad's generation, or maybe beyond, in front of him, are like, these kids don't know what. I was like, well, hold on, we're doing what you did, just in a different way. It's very parallel. It's just now it's in my hand. And, you know, and the things that you saw in, like, Blade Runner and all these other great sci-fi movies that you just like, holy shit, is that really going to happen? And now it is happening. It's just so mediocre, and it's just so just under the radar now,
Yeah, but
you know?
I mean, still, like when you have a social gathering, there's more people on their phone than actually interacting and socializing.
Well, then,
true,
you know what? That's
true.
a party I don't want to be fucking part of.
But you've thrown them a couple times. Like, don't act like.
Excuse me.
people-
Excuse me. I
everybody
don't
was-
throw boring-ass parties, son.
I'm just saying. It's not
Fuck
like
you.
everybody
You
was
know
just.
what? You ain't
it's
invited.
true. Wherever you
No,
go,
I know what you're saying.
There's
No,
a
I
lot of
totally know
people
what you're
that
saying,
just
yeah.
Are stuck on their phone, and sometimes I'm like, I was a kid that woke up at 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 o'clock to 6:30, I watched Dragon Ball. But after that,
fuck, who didn't?
After that, I was out, and my mom was like, "Be back by lunchtime," which was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Come
Maybe,
back for
yeah.
lunch, and we were out until the street lights went off.
Well, see, yeah, and I have a very similar story. I mean, he can attest to this. I heard the whistle. I could be literally 10 miles away from my house, and I heard the whistle. And I would be like, gotta go. And I would just,
Yeah.
dude, you'd never
My
seen
dad,
three
see,
kids
you-
run
you-
faster.
Did you use a whistle or
No, my mom went,
Yeah, see,
Like
that
that.
my dad has the same thing. Until this day, I'm still like, my dad
Very
could just
tuned in.
do it, and I'm
Programmed.
like,
Yeah.
dad needs us. Like,
Yeah.
we're like grown ass, kids, and my dad's calling. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
yeah. So,
But now it's just like, I have nephews. I have, all, throughout my family, there's like all the kids are just, they don't go outside. They don't go do physical activities, and I'm like, man, let's go to the park.
because of the Oculus
know?
Rift. Jurassic Park. So we can, like,
But it's funny because that cartoon, the Disney cartoon Wall-E,
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it.
No, loved it.
Wh-
Yeah.
yeah,
no,
where
it's a
the
great movie.
the chubby people are
One
like,
of the greatest movies without words.
yeah,
A
pretty
lot
much.
of that movie. I don't know what
Like,
percentage it
like,
was.
It was like pretty much like 75% was without
No
words.
words. And
The
it's
end
still
was
a
with
great
words.
movie.
But it showed like it was kind of like it's like one of those like reality. It's technically
That
reality.
could very much happen.
Because look, it was like this is on the verge of happening. And it had like a photoshopped. It was half Wall-E, and you see the fat people on like those.
Right,
little
yeah,
things.
yeah, no,
but
yeah.
then you got like these people on those hoverboards pushing the cart in the grocery
Yeah,
store.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was like, dude, we're on the verge of exactly that. And it's
But
like,
you know what? Me and you will be 6 feet deep, son, before
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
thank
still,
the,
I don't
thank
want
the
to.
Jeebus.
I don't want my daughter and the kids after her.
Yeah, they ain't gonna see any of that shit. They're gonna see ridiculous stuff, but what we
But
have
I'm saying,
ingrained
like
in them.
My line.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Marrera line.
Marrera.
You know, I don't want
Mike
to see them.
McNasty.
I don't want to see them like fucking like fat and like just sloth. Like you know, like
yeah,
it just,
no one wants to
it's
see
gross.
that. No one ever wants
It's
to
like,
see
come
that,
on,
but,
man. Like have more appreciation for life and what you got. Like
yeah, man, isn't that a tricky thing? Isn't that kind of like what's missing nowadays? Like have a little more appreciation for what is right in front of you.
Like and I'm not gonna lie, I've taken it for granted, and I'm like, yeah, man, fuck this shit. But like, I just want to teach my kids and them to teach theirs and so on and so forth to appreciate what they have, life.
Yeah.
Don't just like zone out into a video game or your iPad or your stuff. Yeah, that's something to pass time when you're waiting or but get out and enjoy. Like my daughter loves to, or LaVaylin, she loves to go to the park.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes like I'm guilty for like, oh baby, like daddy's
Yeah.
tired
Yeah.
or whatever, but I do push myself to be like, all right, we're gonna go to the park.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out and we're gonna throw the disc.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna throw the ball, or we're gonna get out and do these extracurricular like physical activities.
Right.
Versus just, oh, here's a game on this.
Yeah. No, and that's okay. Like that's okay to like, honey, I really am like kind of
Yeah.
tired. Is there something like we can do inside, play chess, play checkers, or even just kind of surf the web? It's okay to do that, but as long as you're doing it with them, that kind of physical and social interaction that you have
Yeah.
with your child, and that's fine. Like I don't knock anything
definitely.
for that. But like what people don't understand is there's a mythology behind doing that, behind spending time with your kid on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it.
And we spoke on
instead
this
of just
before, like-
go on your iPad. Like, because
Yeah,
I
a
do
lot
that
of
too.
people-
I'm
a
like,
lot-
go get
No,
out of here.
But there's times where, okay, me and mommy got to talk. Go ahead and play with, or me and
Uncle Dom need to
I gotta
talk.
do I gotta do something.
Right.
So either go play with your cousins or go on your phone or your iPad.
Yeah.
But there's times where I'm like we're laying down in bed, about to go to sleep or whatever. But she pulls out her phone and I'm like, hey, let's look up, let's YouTube something.
Yeah.
Or something that you want to look
Yeah.
at or know about.
The
you know,
thing,
and
I
it's-
think, again, the thing, I've said this on previous episode, like the thing I actually really pride myself on is when my kid asked me something and I'm like, genuinely like, I have no idea. Let's look that up together.
Yeah.
And I'm
Instead of
like, let's
just,
look it up. Like,
just-
I have a phone right here or even in the vicinity. Because when I get home, I really try my best to throw it far away from me, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. So I go, hey, let's look it up together. And we'll find out together. And it's kind of a cool thing because, again, we
Yeah,
get to that
because-
rabbit hole
Yeah.
that Alice jumps
because
into.
she
I'm like,
doesn't
"Man,
know
this is
something
cool."
and she's like, well, daddy doesn't know this, so we can find out together and
Yeah.
gain
Yeah.
that knowledge together.
And it's kind of, it takes away that mythical, like, mom and dad know it all. You
Yeah,
know, like we've had in our past, and not knocking you guys or anything, but it takes that away. It goes, well, you know what? He's human too.
Yeah.
And we could look it up together.
And it
And it's
gives them
okay
more
because
of
if you
a-
don't know, because if they don't know, I mean, because back in our day, if our parents didn't know,
It's
what
like-
the fuck do we do then? It's the end of the world.
Yeah, for real. Like,
Wait, wait. Hey, I do.
Dad don't know anything. What the hell?
So you couldn't. So if my
No,
if
how
my-
dare you?
yeah. Like, oh my god.
So if they don't know, it gives them incentive to go. All right,
No,
I could just find
I
out. Then.
think I think when I look at that and I say, you know what? I think it's better that let's look up the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
making up some fabricated
Yeah.
story about, I
And-
think it's a blessing to be able to. Well, let's look up. You want to know?
Yeah.
Then let's check this shit out.
Yeah.
You know,
'Cause
and
sometimes
I think it's
you're giving them
available to
information,
you.
They're like, oh, I heard this.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Let's.
Well,
Yeah,
the other thing
confirm
is,
it.
Mike, you can't bullshit the kids
Yeah,
no more.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
really can't. Yeah.
'cause
Yes,
kids-
I
no.
do.
Because
No.
hey, listen, when you say because I said so, that shit don't work no more.
No,
you know?
LaVaylin be like catching me on stuff. She was like, no, it ain't. I'm like,
Dude, my kid
you know
did
what?
that
You
the
know what?
other
You
night.
better watch your mouth.
You know what? My oldest child did the exact same thing to me. I was like, Daddy could do this. I know exactly what that means. She goes, you just learned that word right now.
I
And
saw
go,
you learn it.
Hey, you watch your mouth, or I'm gonna send you to your room. You understand me? No iPad,
You talking
no
back?
iPod, nothing for 2 weeks.
Wow.
You
Huh?
talking back?
Huh?
You talking back?
And then she goes, just saying. I went Rick.
I'm just
I
saying.
went Ric Flair on it. I was like, what? And I started marching around my fucking front room, and my wife, which made it even worse. It could have died right there. No.
More dumb.
And she goes, that's pretty bad when your kids know your
Yeah.
bullshit. And she said that. My wife don't ever cuss in front of a kid. She goes, it's pretty bad when your own kids know your bullshit, Dominic. And I go, hey, hey. I had nothing else for her. I had nothing else to say to my kid or
And
her. So you know
put
what I
that
did?
Kevin
I
Hart
did.
face on like,
Excuse me. I did the mature thing and went to my room.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a video of the Heart Foundation.
So
Listen,
guys, I have
how
wrestling on the background.
awesome
Just,
were the
Dude.
Heart Foundation?
oh yeah.
you know what? They were very underrated.
They were. Those guys were. Listen,
Well, you
the
know what?
Anvil.
They were in a very transitional time when Tito Santana, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, these really big guys of wrestling were the men. And all of a sudden, these really small, technical wrestlers came in, and they didn't fit in. Yet they hung with the big guys.
Well, yeah, like the
And
Killer Bees. The
like
Killer Bees.
and Killer Bees, the Midnight Express, the Midnight Express, the Smoking Guns. All of these guys came into an era of big guys, and all of a sudden, technical wrestling started. That's Honky Tonk Man, and they came into the technical wrestling. So it ushered in the era of the '90s era, like Shawn Michaels, the Outlaws, the Rock,
Sting.
See, and that's where I can
Yeah.
like elaborate, but before that, I'm like,
Nah, man, this was our thing, man. That's I saw him at the Anvil Neidhart, and that's a $1 Million Man. I do the $1 Million Dream on here all the time. I mean, this is called the $1 Million Dream. No, ain't nobody get out of that. Anywho, it is. You could call it a blessing to have everything in the literal palm of your hand.
yeah.
It can be a blessing unless that's the only thing you know and act upon. Because if that's your end all be all, guess what? If there's a blackout, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Let me
I was
say,
watching-
well, I mean, now I'll take the devil's advocate on this, though.
Please do.
You know, so if everything you have to believe is on that phone, when does a child like learn through their own experience? Like you know what I
think
mean?
that's up
Like
to the
like in
parent,
other
though.
words, you're not living it and
Right.
you haven't experienced it. You're just doing it because that's what the phone said you should do.
Yeah.
In Indiana
You know what I
Jones,
mean? And so that's lost.
Yeah.
That's lost in
Indiana Jones said it best, and I mean, it's probably one of his worst, Indiana Jones, but the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. One of his students asked him a question as he crashed on a motorcycle with Shia LaBeouf. And he goes, Professor, can
shit.
you listen to this? He goes, dude, you want to be a good archaeologist? Get out of the library.
there. Yeah. Amen.
And that's
Amen.
really,
Yeah.
that really just
Yeah.
goes with what
It
you're saying.
resonates.
Just get out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can watch.
Well, that's why I say experience it, you know, because the truth is, and we always say this in our business, in my business, you know what?
And if
You
you
learn
good-
more from losing than you do from winning.
I've said
Yeah.
that
You know.
millions of times because I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner. And it doesn't matter how many years you do it. You can be Hoist Gracie, Hickson Gracie. You can be my coach, Ricky Nunez, at Flow Road Jiu-Jitsu. You can
Damn, did you just name drop?
He just
is,
plugged,
is that what?
he just plugged him in real quick. What?
Was that a plug?
He's part of our family, Dad. But, you will tap way more. It doesn't matter if you have gold after gold after gold. It doesn't matter how much students you have. You are gonna tap way more than you're gonna get taps. You know what I mean? Because they get better by tapping. Where was my arm? My arm was in the wrong position. And then they go, I'm never going to put my arm in that position
Well,
again.
that's the
Long
whole
story
point.
short, you're gonna
That's-
lose
yeah.
way more than you win.
Yeah.
Mike, you
just-
lose.
And listen,
it just makes the
what
win
I've always
that much
said
more
is,
Absolutely.
appreciated.
who's the more
Absolutely.
dangerous guy? You know, the guy who's got his ass kicked a few times. You know,
Or
that
the-
makes him a way more dangerous
yeah.
guy.
Mike
than-
when he's hungry.
And I tell this to my nephews all the time. I'm like, man, like you guys, you know, like because I talk shit. Me and my boys talk shit. We know how to fling it back and forth. My nephews talk shit, but I'm like, man, like don't say that shit to anybody at school because you know, like you're gonna get your ass beat, and you've never gotten beat before.
Yeah.
You never been in a fight before.
Right.
You know, versus the kid outside, like you know, fighting, trying to survive.
Exactly.
You know? Like,
I mean,
it's like-
me and Mike been handed our ass plenty of times. It's like,
That's
here,
why I'm
here,
like,
this is your hind
I talk
quarters.
shit, but I'm like, I know when I can talk shit.
Yeah.
Versus when,
Right.
I'm
so
just shut up.
experience has taught you that.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, and it was the harsh reality of failure
Yes.
is where we thrived, and that.
Would you say that's what makes you humble?
yes,
No, I think. Well,
think so.
jujitsu, yeah, and my
I
children.
think in life, I think that's what makes you humble. Is that
Oh, sure,
you
sure,
have
sure,
to
sure,
take you have
sure.
to take
Yeah,
your
sure, sure.
losses.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you take
And
them.
you know what? And if you
and not
don't-
only in fighting, just in life in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Failure.
I mean, who learns at the top? Who would learn if
Right.
you get placed at the
Right.
top? Nobody
No.
learns if you get
Hell
placed at the
no.
top. The people that are at the top were at the very rock bottom, as in dust and dirt. You know what I mean? Like, there's
So-
nothing but. And then they go, oh, this is what it's like. This is where I don't need to be.
Yeah.
And then the forward momentum that they create will get them there. Wherever it shall lead you in life, you know?
a good example is, I mean, what's
Not
his
you.
name? Tyler Perry. He was homeless before he became this multimillionaire
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He started on one, idea and was like,
Well, I think that he is a living example of like he lived it first.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you can't make up shit. Some of that
There's a
shit.
lot
That's
of-
why
You know
he
what I mean?
makes
You
those
can't make it up
asshole
unless
movies.
you live. Yeah,
That are the
Listen,
same
I'm
fucking
not.
movies.
I'm not gonna lie.
That
I'm not a
women
big.
fucking love
I'm
and
not a
would drag
big
us to.
fan.
Oh, great! You're gonna hire
Yeah.
more black people
Yeah, yeah.
for a black movie.
No,
Original.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. But I
I'm-
would say this though. But I don't hate at what
No,
his
yeah,
success
yeah,
is, and I don't hate on what he's done.
No,
you know
absolutely not.
it's.
I appreciate
because
his story.
I
I-
absolutely
yeah.
do.
Yes,
And
his comeuppance, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And I would say that you know what I think a lot of it is based on his life experiences.
Yeah,
You know, and
definitely.
you should cash in on that shit. You know, if you've lived it, hey, you can
and then,
tell
I
it.
mean, and then you got
Yeah.
your people like that just grew up with money, like the Kardashians. They
I'm about to say no. I don't know anybody. That
Well,
no, I'm talking
You know.
about like in the spotlight, in the green light
No,
right
no,
now. Like
no,
you're like,
nobody.
dude, you came up on money. You don't know the struggle. You act like you know the struggle, but
Right.
you don't know the struggle.
Yeah, that I mean, I could see where, that does piss off a lot of people, and at the same time, they cashed in on something that. Why in the hell are we all watching? That's the thing,
And that's what I'm
Why
saying.
are we
I
all
don't
watching?
promote any of that
Yeah.
reality shit. Like, I'm not gonna watch your life.
Listen, here's the real
yeah,
truth.
well, I have to live mine. It's like,
Yeah, they're good looking girls, and so people watched, and that's what they cashed in on.
I've never noticed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, would you have watched if they look like, if they look like shit? Nobody gives a
Hell
shit,
no.
But
Honey
that's
Boo
what
Boo
happened.
only
That's
lasted so
what-
long.
and that's the thing. It's gonna last just so long, but truth is, it lasted long enough for them to make
Yeah.
some serious money.
Well, look, man, the mom is the web creator, the spider that she is. She started it and she's capitalizing on it, and so are her daughters and other children. You know what I mean? She's the head honcho. She knows exactly what she's doing, which is an entrepreneur mentality that she has. So kudos to her. Now, I don't like the way she did it, But hey, who am I to judge?
I can't stand her, but you know what? More power to her.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Survival of the fittest, man.
We're dead. All right, man. I'm gonna stop it right there. I think we had a good time. That was a good time right there. Mike, you know what to do, son.
You can get a hold of us at mod4up@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gmail. You can listen on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So hit us up, man. Let us know what you think and your opinion.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Dad, for being on again.
Yes, Coach.
I really appreciate you. I said it last episode. I'm going to say it this episode. We have not even scratched the surface with this guy. And we have a lot to get to with my father and mother issues. We'll get to that later.
Meaning they didn't like his ass.
Mike, you have no idea. Well, you have somewhat of an idea. You were there.
Well, let me
They
say
like
thank
me.
you. I want to thank both of you for having me. I think it's a great forum. I think you guys do a wonderful job,
Thank you.
and I know that. Thank you for having me for this part 2, so to speak. I look forward
This is
to
like a
some
couple weeks
more,
after. What do you
and I hope that in the future that I could be on again.
Absolutely. It's an
definitely.
open invitation, man. I mean,
Yes.
I this is where I
life.
mean, again, Mike said it a long time ago, and this is how I know he was totally invested. This is life. Like, when he started to get the groove of the podcast, he was way more invested than I was, and it got me way more invigorated than I absolutely was. So, you know what I'm saying? So I have him to thank eternally for this. You know, it's a fire that's forever being fueled by each other.
Thanks for sparking the idea, because I would have
Absolutely.
never thought about this. I mean, we talk a lot of shit, and we talk a lot to each other, but
Oh, yeah.
to actually throw it up and like make a thing out of it,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, and we have a blast. So thanks everybody for listening, tuning in, downloading. mod4up@gmail.com. Hashtag mod4up at mod4up. Anywhere that's a somewhere, you can find us. I guarantee it. You know, I said last episode we're going to have a Q&A. It didn't work out this time because I was installing an air conditioning unit for the podcast room. So, anywho, thank you, Mike. Thanks, Dad, for being here. What are you going to say? Nothing? Thank you very much. Mike, anything else? I didn't think so. Catch you cats later.
Peace out.